I wish there was a wink sound effect for that.
What would that be?
Ding, ding, yeah. Ding, ding.
Well, welcome to the show. I'm your host, Nick Ortiz, and with me, as always, my co-host, Devin Hanley, and the creamy chipotle in this steak flatbread sandwich, Jordan Cravens Krenek. What up, y'all?
A steak flatbread.
You don't remember those?
No, was that a Taco Bell item?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, I don't even remember that.
That was like a go-to. Dude, when I first started working and we moved to the San Marcos, that's what I'd always get. Is the steak flatbread. It's so banging, dude.
Damn. You learn new things every day on this show. You know what? You'd think that somebody who'd be doing a podcast about Taco Bell for 8 months would have a full kind of panoramic view of all the items, but apparently not. That shit is crazy. I can say this, like, I don't want to dive into this because we do this on every show, but that's a sandwich. That is a sandwich right there.
Okay, you're right. I don't want to dive into this.
Okay, I don't either.
Now,
what do we got on the docket today, Nick?
Well, before we just dive right on into it, Bell Nation, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just search up Cheesy Gordita Bunch, and then, of course, please leave a review on iTunes.
If you see us in real life, you can follow us too. You know, camp outside of our houses, bring some signs.
Bring us Taco Bell?
Bring us Taco Bell. You know, whatever we can do to accommodate your fandom, we're going to make it work. Yeah.
Now, Jordan Cravens Krenek isn't in studio, but my man is on the phone. What up, Jordy?
What's goody? This is going to be a dope episode. I'm excited. And please leave us a fucking review.
Yeah. How many times does this man have to say it?
We usually say it at the end of the show. We're going to start saying it right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Leave a fucking review. If you're listening to this and you haven't left a review yet, then, maybe you haven't made it to the end of an episode and heard our ask for that, but so we're going to start it. We're going to bring it to you right up front here. Leave us a review. It helps us immensely.
Yes, it does. Now, this episode, we'll be talking about the beef. More specifically, we'll be talking about Taco Bell's beef, and we'll answer the age-old question.
What is the beef? The beef, the beef. What is the beef? The beef, the beef. What is the beef? The beef, the beef.
Is it real beef?
I think it's insane. What episode number is this?
This is episode number 19.
Number 19. It took us almost 20 episodes to get to the beef.
To ask the hard-hitting questions. Is it real beef?
Yeah. I think that just shows you for like just how deep the Taco Bell well goes. You know, there's so much potential content within this idea that it took us 20 episodes or almost 20 episodes just to get to the beef.
Yeah.
Which I feel is a pretty big question for Bell Nation and always has been.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or we're so stupid that we simply did not talk about it sooner.
No.
But we definitely had to have a seance of Glenn Bell before we asked about the beef. Okay.
Yeah.
We had to talk to some Taco Bell influencers before we asked the question, is this real beef? Now, before we dive into today's episode, I do want to give a special thanks to researcher and writer Jacob Cordas for helping us with today's episode. Yeah, a round of applause for JC. And then I'd also like to acknowledge some of the sources. We used MASH.com, NPR, and then, of course, we had to use Big Bell themselves, Taco Bell, TacoBell.com. Yeah, because one thing you'll see is Taco Bell loves to talk about their beef. So, we're like I had mentioned before, we are talking about the infamous beef. Now, I say infamous because Big Bell's beef is unlike no other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they sell the seasoning packets with, the flavors in it, but the at-home stuff just lacks the texture that actual Taco Bell beef has.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. I mean, I think that just in a general way, the idea of kind of avoiding the classic beef patty, Taco Bell, kind of coming up with a new way of introducing meat to people, to bringing beef to people that isn't in your typical fast food fashion. I think like in that vein, there's been a lot of discussion over like what is in the McDonald's burger, what is in the Wendy's burger, what is the Burger King burger made out of, and I think that this is just a deviation from that in a bit because it is different. It's a different approach to beef.
Yeah, I mean, we like so many people eat like this food all the time. So many people eat like there's millions of people today that will eat Taco Bell, probably, right?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, yeah. They say
And
like
so, like-
35
A
million.
million and three, that's for sure.
They say it's like 35 million people a week eat Taco Bell.
Wow.
Bro, that's nuts. And so, I'm like people, the health conscious stuff is really important, but there's like so many like things that you hear about where people are doing like the wrong shit, or like that documentary about how McDonald's got started, right? About how homie switched away from like real ice cream milkshakes and he did like the powder shit.
First off, that is not a documentary, sir. That is a full-on movie with Michael Keaton, and that's a great movie.
You're right. That is, but it's based on a true story, so
For sure.
But yeah, like there's like all of that, right? And there's so many people. And people like question so much shit about like fast food restaurants. I mean, rightfully so. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel like
you show up and your food is ready in like 3 minutes. Like,
yeah, exactly. I feel like the question of what meat is this is definitely a reasonable question to ask.
For sure, because how do you get that consistency throughout the entire international world? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like one thing, Jordan, when you went to Peru, the beef, it had the same texture, right?
Yeah. The consistency was there. I mean, it was. I would say it was the same.
Exactly.
For sure.
So like how do you get the same texture, the same consistency internationally, especially considering the laws? There's some ingredients that won't pass like the British agency standard, like
Right.
food agency standard, or other international standards, whereas America, we have more of a laxed, like, oh well, this is safe in moderation, where other countries would say that's not good for consumption. You know what I mean? So
Right.
how does Taco Bell consistently get their beef, with
Yeah.
that same texture, the same flavor, with the same, quote unquote Mexican seasonings?
Yeah. Well, that's a really, really great.
Quote unquote.
Yeah, that's a really great question, and I think that is actually one of the big themes of this episode that we should bring into this conversation, which is one of the things that I think every customer, especially fast food customers, look for is that sustainability. Is
Yeah.
the ability to go to any McDonald's or any Burger King anywhere or any Taco Bell anywhere in the world and essentially have that same experience. So I think that companies, these big fast food companies, that is like one of the top things that they're trying to do is figure out ways to replicate the same flavor and the same kind of sustainability in every experience.
You have to do that though. You have to do that, period. Because the moment that you like have a breach and inconsistency, you like, and I'm saying this seriously, but it might sound too serious, but you literally lose trust with people. Like it's
Dude,
Like,
1000%. You are dead on.
because like if I know at least, even if it's consistency we fucking hate, we appreciate consistency more than inconsistency.
Yeah.
Right? Like one day, like if every now and then I'll get a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, and the fillet will be like definitely like tougher than like the other, like the regular sandwich, and it happens like once every like 20 sandwiches or something like that.
That's how often he goes to Chick-fil-A.
I mean, at that point, even if you're like aiming, like 1 in 20 ain't bad. Like
No,
if
1 in
you're
20 isn't that
knocking,
bad.
1 in 20 ain't bad. But yeah, I understand what you mean.
But even if it's like, even as much as y'all know I love Chick-fil-A, that fucking pisses me off. But Jack in the Box tacos, total trash. We've talked about them over and over again. Absolute trash. But there is zero lacking in inconsistency there.
But
it's the same trash every time.
It's the trash that you're going to love.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that we should just let's ask the question: what is the beef? Now we're gonna start with the rumors, because just like anything, growing up, I know I heard a bunch of rumors, not only about Taco Bell.
I got some stuff on this. Yeah.
What's one of the rumors that you had heard?
So my dad used to tell me, like when I was a kid, that I don't know if it's the FDA or I don't know who regulates it, dude. I don't fucking know. That's not the point. The point is they allow, whoever regulates like what's good and what's not. My dad told me that they allow 2% or like 1% like fucking like rat meat and like rat hair and like bones
That's
and
exact,
shit.
dude. I heard that exact same thing.
Yeah.
So we're talking about like
and it's because of this is what he told me when as far back as I can remember. Yeah. Sometimes rats just fall into the blenders and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Do I want to eat anything? Like, I'm like, what the fuck?
No,
Yeah.
that's definitely a rumor that I heard.
yeah, I feel
that was a big one.
I feel like Taco Bell beef, especially like 12 years ago, 12 years ago, was like the source of a lot of like conspiracy theory.
For sure.
Yeah, like for me, it was always, I'm going to do my Alex Jones voice now, like, Taco Bell, they get paid, the CEOs get paid $400,000 a year to keep it secret, to keep you from letting you know that ain't real beef. That doesn't sound like Alex Jones, but
No, I get the essence. The essence is there.
But what I was saying is that I heard that Taco Bell like pays their fines. This is conspiracy, all conjecture,
for
of
sure.
course. That they pay all of their fines up front. That they tell that like the FDA and all of these big agencies that approve their food that like there's gonna be fines. There's gonna be things that aren't up to code, so to speak, and that Taco Bell
Bell's like, yeah,
proactively takes care of those things.
They're like, don't worry about it. We're gonna
Exactly. By the
raise
time
the price of a Gordita and
when
cover
you
that fine.
when you eat something at Taco Bell, that thing has already, all the lawsuits that thing could potentially accrue have already been paid for. That's what I grew up hearing, at least. But
Really?
but like I said, only if you go online and check it out on my website, infohorse.com. So
Now that's see, I've never heard that conspiracy. That's a crazy conspiracy.
yeah.
Huh. I mean,
it's
obviously,
just like-
it's not very,
like
it's not
Taco
believable
Bell
at
just
all.
completely-
No, absolutely not.
Like Taco Bell just completely disregards like any kind of moral stuff or any.
Yeah.
Like, they're
Well,
just
it's
like, yeah, we don't
it's
really
more
give
so
a
that
fuck.
they have a department
We'll
of
just pay for it.
lawyers that are paid exclusively to just like disseminate, if that's the right use of that word, to disseminate any sort of problems that might come along with Taco Bell's food.
That's such like a. That's such a dumb theory, like conspiracy theory. But there are people out there who actually do believe that, like bologna has a bunch of rat meat in it,
Yeah.
and that the reason why they're basically giving this shit away is because it's tainted meat. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
reason why they can offer.
I've always been afraid of eating bologna just because of like the fucking stories.
Wow,
you
and
guys
you're
are
from
over,
Runberg?
you know.
That's so weird.
You're from Runberg?
That's so weird.
I used to love bologna.
I fucking
Oof.
still love
Yeah,
bologna,
fucking
bro.
roll that shit up
No,
with
man. No,
some
I was
French's
always eating
mustard in the middle. Whew.
Turkey. That was it for me.
I don't know.
Oh.
There's a bologna from a place in Sotelo, Tennessee that I've had before, and dude, it comes in a tube, and it's so fucking
Dude,
good.
Nick and
that
I,
is
bologna
fucking
boys.
nasty.
Bologna boys.
The bologna boys.
Now let's talk about some of the rumors in Bell Nation itself. One of the rumors that had come out is that Taco Bell is actually serving mealworms. Now, this rumor, I know it's crazy, but this rumor is really popular amongst fast food places because I know McDonald's was accused of this, and so was Burger King. But it's pretty interesting because, researching this topic, there were a shit ton of articles about people trying to force mealworms on us.
Sure.
They're like, not only is it more sustainable and better for the environment, but like,
Most of the time, you don't know what it is. Like, I feel like it's a disguisable. I've definitely eaten mealworm before.
oh really?
Yeah. No, I'm not even kidding. Like, when I went to Mexico, it's like a snack down there. You buy those dried mealworm. You buy
Eat mealworm.
dried mealworms. Dried grasshopper is another. Like, I'm not even kidding here. These are like insects that are
Bell
sustainably.
Nation, what Devin's really saying is mealworms a regular part of his diet.
Yeah. What I'm saying is if it doesn't have mealworm in it, no thanks.
I'm not eating a fucking worm. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care how
Are you
sustainable
fucking
it
kidding
is.
me? No way.
Yeah, I'm just not eating a worm. It's not appetizing.
But if one or two mushed up, crushed up worms made it into your
Into my
Taco Bell meat, you wouldn't notice anything.
For sure. But would I be disappointed? Probably.
When you
angry?
found out.
When
Yeah.
I found out? Fuck yes.
Yeah.
I would feel betrayed, bro. I went fishing.
You wouldn't be like, well,
And
that happened a while ago. It's gone.
Already
I
passed
flushed it
through
down
me.
the toilet 6 months ago,
Yeah, I mean,
and
listen,
I thought it was a
listen,
delicious taco. I mean,
I'm so far from like engaging in the possibility of eating worms and shit.
Same.
Like, I mean, I went fishing like, I don't know, like 10 years ago or something, for the first time, and I never even touched the worm on the bait, bro.
oh boy.
I made my uncle do that shit.
Oh, that's
Oh, boy.
pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
Now, this rumor was debunked because it turns out, though mealworms are just fucking bugs, but a pound of mealworms can cost anywhere between $10 to $20.
Wow.
Which makes it way more expensive than beef.
Damn. So it's like a.
Real beef.
Yeah.
So that's like a. It's like a
fucking-
delicacy. It's like.
Hey, bro.
I wish they would put some fucking worm like come on, like
I need to elevate my taco, get some worms
Yeah,
in
come
here.
on, inflate the net worth of my taco a little bit.
Yeah,
No.
you want that Nick? That's that rich Connecticut money.
Yeah, that's like
yeah.
Connecticut blood. We
Yeah.
eat mealworms up here.
we only eat $20 mealworms, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Taco Bell, what's that?
Now, the second rumor is that Big Bell uses grade D beef. Now, Jordan, what do you think that means?
Buttholes. It's a butthole. Like grade D is a butthole.
Grade D is a butthole.
I would say so. Yeah,
Yeah,
lips
shut
and
the fuck
butthole,
up.
lips and buttholes. Always been grade D.
Those are I eat
grade
grade D
D?
beef.
Yeah, you guys will suck on lips and buttholes all day, but won't eat a fucking worm.
Nah,
Are you fucking kidding me?
I don't know. Grade D probably means like fucking. It probably means like
Bottom
just
rung,
like the
right?
Yeah, like it's like it's the poor cuts, but it's also like I don't know, blended with other shit and other kinds of meat, probably. I don't know. When I
So
think
you're
grade
saying
D,
lips
I
and
think of all the
butthole
rumors
without
of hot
saying
dogs.
lips and butthole. At least I'm coming straight out and saying what it is.
Okay, so let me get this
Yeah,
straight.
it's probably like grade D probably has like the lips of the cow, you
Okay.
know, included.
So Jordan, you think it's like lips, butthole, a bunch of other low grade type shit,
And like
then,
it probably has like bones and shit too. I don't
Okay.
know.
Oh,
I think it's also probably like some like super factory farm shit, you know?
okay, and then Devin, you think it's just lips and butthole?
I think it's the same thing as Jordan, but I
Okay.
think that like the lips and butthole are a good representation of the kind of the level of meat that we're getting. Yes, that's
Okay.
what I would say grade D
I
meat is.
can't stop laughing, dude.
So the grades by the USDA, because that's who grades like the meat, like what defines good meat. It's the USDA, and they have 3 grades. They have prime, which is the highest grade you can buy. Then they have choice, which is the highest quality they usually have at grocery stores, and then the select, which is one that most of our parents bought for us. You know what I mean? They were buying us the nice fucking steaks. They're buying us the select ones. But
Select, that's a really nice name for the like shit meat.
It is, right? But they base these grades on the marbling of the meat or the fat content. Now, prime is the most.
Oh,
Prime has
that's
the most
right.
fat. Yeah, and select is the leanest. So you would say I am the prime, and Devin is the select. Yeah. So there's actually not a grade D meat. However, a consumer report done by Chain Reaction does give Taco Bell a grade D because it uses a lot of antibiotics in their meat.
That's even worse than lips
Hey.
and buttholes.
You know what? Chain Reaction, kiss my ass.
Now, and that grade's pretty low, but other popular places like McDonald's and like Burger King also didn't do so well. But the highest grade, and I'm not that surprised, it's
Yeah, me
Chipotle
neither.
and Panera.
Oh, obviously.
Yeah,
Panera, yeah.
they
Yeah.
actually don't use any
They rave
meat.
about this shit all the time.
Yeah, they don't use any meat with antibiotics in it. And the reason
is
why they
probably
say, we shouldn't be eating meat with a bunch of antibiotics in it is not only does that say something about like where the cows live, because they have to have a bunch of antibiotics to deal with the mess that's around them, but it also it can harm our immune system in the sense that viruses can become stronger because we're eating antibiotics. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the big argument is like
Oh wow.
any sort of GMO, any sort of genetically modified organism in your food is no dice.
Yeah.
Is no good. So
But I'm happy that Panera is like A1 because like I mean honestly I fucks with Panera.
yeah.
I fucks with
Panera.
Panera.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
hey,
dude,
listen, if you
like-
like Panera bread or you like Chipotle, fucking go to them. But don't listen to our show. This is a Taco Bell
It's on
show.
my Chipotle Panera
Yeah.
bread podcast.
You want to live a long life? Oh, you want to live a long life full of health and prosperity? Fucking go to Chipotle. This is Bell Nation.
Yeah, we're here for a good time, not a long time.
Boom,
Okay?
exactly. Put that on my gravestone next year.
Next year.
Now, now the last theory, it holds the most water, because it actually
Without actually holding any water.
Yeah.
I don't think that's one of the main ingredients.
Well, because it has a leg to stand on. It's the horse meat theory.
Oh, this is great.
Here we go.
Now back in 2013, I'm sure some people remember because I definitely remember. There was a big scandal in the UK because there was a supplier selling horse meat labeled as beef, which is pretty fucking insane. But in the UK, it wasn't an issue that it was horse meat because it's legal to eat horse meat there.
Yeah, it's like pretty much only America's like one of the only places that doesn't fucking eat horses.
Yeah, it's super illegal here. But they were really upset because it was mislabeled. It's false advertising. And at the time, the British Food Standard Agency said that Taco Bell's product only carried 1% horse meat, which is fucking amazing compared to some other restaurants.
Excuse me, Governor. I just ordered this here taco, and this says this is 100% beef. Well, no, there, mate. You got to read the label again. That's a little bit of horse meat in there mixed in there, right? You just got to read the sign correctly.
And it is pretty good because Taco Bell only had 3 restaurants in the UK at the time, so pulling all of their meat wasn't a big deal. You know what I mean? Like it was something that I'm sure was still really expensive, but it wasn't that big a deal because they didn't have a shit ton of chains. Like if that happened in America, that'd be
Bro.
yeah.
Because in America,
it would be so embarrassing if that happened to us because
we
have this-
thrive on pulling our meat.
we have the fucking worst reputation by far for fast food. Everybody thinks that we're fat.
Oh yeah.
That's because we are.
I mean, we kind of are, yeah. But it's not the fucking point. It's not the fucking point.
Yeah, so they only had 1% at the Taco Bell. They only, like the meat product. There were some places that had at like 29%, and then like and then some places in like supermarkets had like 100% horse meat.
Wow.
When they
And it
said
wasn't
was
labeled
beef.
horse meat. Like they
Fuck
just cut the
no.
horse up, slapped a cow on it. Like I don't fucking understand. Like I don't fucking. What do you mean?
Horses, they're the cow of the prairie. Yeah, same
Bro,
shit.
this
Same
is
same difference,
Fucking
really.
crazy. This is crazy. But I mean, if people run with this shit though, I mean, how far? Like, I mean, this is like other people probably have their kids going, feeling like this is definitely like I'll never eat there because horse meat is an integral part of Taco Bell.
Well, it really just it's making me think of like how much in America culturally we treasure horses. Like horses are like so deeply enrooted in, the history of America and expansion and all that horrible stuff that we did hundreds of years ago. So I think that we put horses up on a pedestal here. So it's like weird. It's weird to, it's weird to hear it. But I mean, I honestly, like when I think about it, like this sounds horrible, but like when it comes to how a horse actually tastes, like if it's done right and done well, I don't think it would taste that horrible.
Yeah, I mean, I mean.
Hey,
well,
can I get the Crunchwrap Supreme? But that prime horse meat, baby, please.
Yeah, can I get me a stallion, please?
Can I sub it?
Stallion.
Can I sub that shredded chicken for some horse meat, please?
Yeah, no, I don't feel like I wouldn't eat horse if someone told me it was horse, but I'm sure I'd like it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I'm sure,
I bet
I'm sure
it tastes
wouldn't be
amazing.
bad.
I mean, honestly, it makes a ton of sense. I mean, a horse is like lean as fuck. There's so much fucking like actual
Muscle.
It's a there's so much muscle. It's a monster of of an animal. Like,
I wonder if it's
There's a-
anything like
there's a-
elk. You know what I mean?
there's
Or
a
like
ton of
deer.
resources.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah, I'm sure. Very. I would. That's what I would imagine it being closest to, is like a venison, sort of like a tougher kind of meat that you would put in like a stew or
Yeah.
have to cook down a lot. But either way, I would also like. I mean, I would find it like, I think, very similar to beef too. I think it would also have that kind of beefy, muscly, big flavor.
Yeah, and see, and horse meat is another thing where like I heard was in hot dogs. You know what I mean? Or like
Yeah.
or like bologna as well. Or I don't know. I just feel like horse meat has always been like a theory in my childhood when it came to
Yeah,
like,
I don't-
hot dogs.
Though,
I mean,
what-
when it comes to hot dogs and shit, dude, I mean, just looking at like bologna and hot dogs, it doesn't look like actual meat. Like, it looks.
Yeah,
it
it's a literal
looks
meat
like a-
stick.
yeah. Well,
Right,
I think
it
it's.
looks
Oh, go ahead,
bad.
Jordan.
So it's confusing. Well, not confusing, but like, oh no, it makes me feel apprehensive. I don't know about y'all, but
I'm
I
more
mean,
apprehensive in the way that I would think, that I'm thinking of, like, you know, even in the UK, Taco Bell is a huge corporation, and even like in my mind, like when I picture eating a horse, it's like a fucking Disney horse. It's like a big it's like a stallion with a big mane, a Clydesdale, like a beautiful Budweiser horse.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's not the caliber of horses that are in Taco Bell meat. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like this is.
Yeah, they don't even have the best cows in Taco Bell.
Yeah, yeah, definitely
Yeah,
not.
so
This isn't Mr. Ed that we're eating
I mean, the
here.
rest of the world, it's the horse is just I mean, that's just another meal. But like in America, that's your boy. You know, that's
Exactly.
Like,
we have a weird
know?
like we have this weird misconception of what horses look like. When you think about a horse, do you think of it looking like all emaciated and sad and like ready to be turned into a taco? No. You think of it like, you think of
But
it.
I mean, you don't really think of those type of cows whenever you think about cows being turned into meat. I think
do.
of like really. I
Yeah.
don't think of emaciated. I think bulked up with antibiotics and a bunch of feed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
steroids and shit.
But I
Yeah,
just
I
mean like the strong, regal presence of a horse. When you think of a horse, it's like beautiful and
Yeah.
like strong and powerful. It's not like something that's about to be in a taco. But
Yeah.
that's just, once again, that's just our culture. That's just our American.
Yeah, I'm sure you go anywhere else, you'll see like horse tacos and
Some
horse
shitty
pies.
horses. Yeah.
Are you tired of the way the globalist elite wants you to feel when they tell you what to eat? Forcing factory food pumping swill into the blood of the good-hearted people of Bell Nation? Well, I'll tell you what, there's no way to get around it, folks. It's everywhere you go look right now if you follow the mainstream diet. If you follow it. What we want to tell you about today is mealworms. All right, mealworms now. This is the future of not only the species and their digestive malfunctions, but we're also talking about culinary fashions. You get one in a pill, you can get one take one orally, or in your food. You can dump it and put it right there in your food, but either way, you're getting that good old mealworm. Now, listen to me when I tell you this. This is 100% non-GMO organic mealworm skeletons, and they can come directly to you in the mail, check or money order. You decide right now. This is your body. Don't let them tell you how to live it.
Now this all brings us to the question: is the Taco Bell beef actual beef? Do they really use beef? Well, in 2011, a woman in California decided to file a class action lawsuit against Taco Bell, claiming it was only 33% beef. And
What was her name?
Karen.
I knew it.
No, I have no idea, but it sounds like a Karen thing. And or it sounds like someone who like works for Gwyneth Paltrow. You know what I mean? Like a Goop employee saying that this is like only 33% beef. But the law firm Beasley Allen believed that Taco Bell was playing too fast and too loose with the term beef. For real, because it
The term beef.
well, their argument was that it wasn't all beef and that it included oats, seasonings, and fillers. But I gotta tell you, Big Bell, they came swinging back pretty hard. Now, in fact, what they didn't even go to court for this lawsuit. That's how much Big Bell really came out swinging.
They got those big Bell lawyers, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Pepsi was like, "Fuck no, you ain't
Yeah,
gonna
they're
talk
like-
our Taco Bell like that."
Yeah, I heard there was one response, and this is just like I told a rumor, but I heard there was a response that like somebody contested that the beef was like 60%, or maybe it was this one, I don't remember, but their response was like, "How dare you? Okay, you would never ever sell beef that was only 60% beef. Our beef is 80% beef. Okay. Like,
So let me.
flabbergasted and viscerally offended that somebody would consider that it wasn't at least 80% beef. I don't know how true that is, but I just heard that was like one of their responses. What'd they say? What they say?
When I hear the words all beef, like I think that is like sort of a trend in fast food is like a distinction that's been made in the past few years or so of something being all beef. You've heard that, right?
No.
Yeah,
like an
but
all
some
beef
of that is
patty.
bullshit. No, some of that is
okay.
bullshit.
So,
though.
like-
that's just like propaganda and marketing, bro. Like it's not that some of the food wasn't good before. I'm not saying everybody should.
But I mean, you can call
Obviously, like,
something
McDonald's-
beef and not
But
have it
McDonald's,
be
like, we
all
can-
beef.
I saw a video the other day of a fucking McDonald's burger from like a dead ass like 2011. I'm not fucking kidding.
Oh yeah, that wasn't moldy at all.
It wasn't moldy at all, right? Like those kind of things, like make clearly there's something wrong there.
And that actually brings us back because they didn't go to court to settle this. No money was actually exchanged. Nothing was exchanged. And all they had to do was just review some facts. That's all they had to do. And Taco Bell was so confident that they would win. They didn't change any of the recipe. They didn't change any of their advertising. Even to this day, they haven't changed their recipe or their advertising on how they advertise.
So they just blew that lawsuit out of the water.
Them boys showed up with some big dick energy. What's good?
Exactly. Now to say that they didn't change anything is a misnomer because they did become more transparent. That's one thing that I will say. After doing this research, Taco Bell, not only did they release all of the ingredients list, but the CEO of Taco Bell, Greg Creed, at the time, he actually released a statement.
We are extremely proud of our food quality. We took great exception to the false claims made about our seasoned beef and wish the attorneys had contacted us before filing and publicizing a lawsuit that disparaged our brand. We have not made any changes to our products or advertising or even discussed the possibility of any changes with the plaintiff's lawyers, contrary to what they have claimed. This is a victory for truth over fiction, and we're glad the lawyers voluntarily withdrew their case once they learned the truth. We hope the voluntary withdrawal of this lawsuit receives as much public attention as when it was filed, so we may put the matter behind us and fully concentrate on serving our customers.
So yeah, happy ending, right? Like that sounds like a good happy ending. Wrong. And also that guy's Australian. Now, one simple lawsuit. What this shows us is that one simple lawsuit can actually have some really damaging residual effects. And because in the court of popular opinion, it's not always what you can prove, but it's what you say. You know what I mean? Like rumors and conspiracies travel really fast. This lawsuit sowed a lot of skepticism and distrust for Taco Bell seasoned beef. So much so that Big Bell had to spend anywhere between $3 to $4 million to set Bell Nation's mind at ease. Pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, that's a bunch
Chump
of
change.
You gotta do it.
Chump
dude.
change, nothing. I think if that's what it takes to get them off the hook for that lawsuit, fucking
them off the
money,
hook. There was
money
no hook.
well spent.
I guess. I do think it's fucked up. You know, that they had to spend a bunch of money to get people's trust again when there was no.
Yeah, but $3 million, that's nothing. That's fucking.
I guess
that's like a Tuesday for Taco Bell. That's nothing.
For sure. I understand where you're coming from. It's just it's fucked up that they had to pay that because some people decided they want to like sue someone out of the blue. You know what I mean? Yeah, well, actually what they did is they put out a parody series of a cartoon, like a Saturday morning cartoon called the Super Delicious Ingredients Force.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, I know. It's where
it reminds me of what's the one off of Adult Swim?
Oh, Aqua Teen Hunger Force?
Yeah.
That's actually, yeah, no, it's almost in that same vein. But it's
funny.
where Taco Bell Ingredients fights Baron Von Bland because he wants to make every food in Urbanopolis taste bland.
When did this come out?
2013, and
Oh,
you
man.
have to look it up. I did put the link on the script, but you'd have to look it up because Taco Bell's unlisted all of these videos because whenever you look at their YouTube channel now, they only have about 70 videos. Most of them are the Live Moss Scholarship, which I'm sure we'll do an episode about. But yeah, they don't have any of the beef.
Just sweeping away all their dirty laundry and keeping up the scholarship videos. That's our.
Yeah, they even have employee testimonials, and they published a piece called "Thank You for Suing Us." Yeah, and
motherfuckers. See, this is coming full circle to what I was saying earlier. They know that they attract lawsuits. Like Taco Bell understands that as a company they attract lawsuits. How could they not? But
I mean honestly, but that's some confident shit, dude. You gotta fucking. I mean, when you're a giant in the food industry, bro, top 10 fast food restaurant in America. I mean, that's a fucking big deal. You gotta. It's like when you show up in prison, dude. You know. You gotta knock them out.
No, exactly. That's exactly what it is. Like they're but yeah, they're so well equipped to no pun intended, squash the beef anytime there's something like this that happens.
Yeah,
that pun was definitely intended. I don't know why.
Now, in this small publication, they actually say, quote, "As for the lawyers who brought this suit, you got it wrong, and you're probably feeling pretty bad right now. But you know what would help everyone? Saying I'm sorry. Come on, you can do it." That's literally how petty they were in that publication of "Thank you for suing us."
Wow,
I fuck with that.
Yeah, I mean it's something that I can appreciate as well. You know what I mean? Like,
you're just like, what's up? What's up? I'm here swinging for the fences on your ass. You just put your balls on the table. Yeah. You're just ready to throw down, and I fuck with that.
Greg Creed put his dick on the table and said, look at this meat. Isn't USDA prime beef?
Prime, baby. The prime cut.
Yeah, dude. Now I know what you're asking. What is the beef? So we got some answers. It is 88% USDA beef. I read that it's prime. I read that it's USDA prime beef.
Where'd you read that?
TacoBell.com.
Oh.
Yeah. And then, of course, the other 12% is special recipe.
Liars. No, I'm just kidding.
Now, what's in the special recipe? They say it's Mexican seasoning, caramelized sugar, some other like coca powder. It's mainly for texture, and of course they have
coca powder.
Yeah.
Is that like cocoa powder?
Yeah.
No. It's like a little different. Is it cacao? Is that what you're saying?
Is there a difference between cacao, coca, and how'd you pronounce it?
Well, coca is cocaine. Cocoa powder is chocolate.
Baby.
It's a chocolate flavor, which I prefer.
I feel so good after I eat Taco Bell.
No wonder I can't get a boner after I eat Taco Bell.
Man, I eat a Taco Bell and my fucking my face starts twitching.
Yeah, my face gets numb and there's a drip in the back of my throat after I eat Taco Bell. It's so weird.
The Taco Bell drip.
For some reason, I've had inclinations for a long time to just snort my beef, but I don't know.
Not only am I getting a drip in the back of my throat, but also out of my butthole. So yeah, that's what's in the beef. It is actual beef. And I love the beef from Taco Bell. I don't like the steak from Taco Bell, but I like the ground beef.
Yeah.
The ground beef is fucking killer. I don't eat a ton of steak for sure. I don't eat steak fajitas and stuff like that a lot, but I do like the beef. Ground beef is fucking good, dude. I mean, and you got to put some sugar in it. Make sure people get a little addicted to it. You know what I mean?
It's got to be the most popular meat at Taco Bell.
For sure.
Yeah, unanimously, it's in the majority of items.
My favorite, I guess taste with the beef is the Doritos Loco Shell. The way that it meshes together is it's so satisfying.
It's like nachos. Because we all know that's...
And you know.
Yeah.
Your boy fucks with nachos.
Yeah.
See, my favorite combination with the beef is spicy ranch and what is it? The nacho cheese. There's just something about when all of that little mixture combines in a 5-layer burrito. That's just... It's amazing.
can appreciate
Sublime.
For me, it's anything with the beef and the chipotle sauce. Those two things kind of married together for me, just fucking beautiful.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Well,
Devin told me he loves it when the beef is mixed up with a little bit of those mealworms.
Does it make it classy that way?
he says, honey, can you
Yeah.
sprinkle some mealworm on this?
Hey, baby, is
Yeah,
there fucking mealworm in this or?
Devin's go-to. It's a cheesy Gordita crunch with add mealworms, add horse meat. Thank you.
my to-go meal like just some mealworms with some beef and queso on top. Just eat them shit like nachos, baby. Spoon that shit down. Join me on my mealworm podcast. Do you want to hear your podcast, music, or product advertised on our show? Well, you are in luck because we are looking for sponsors on the Cheesy Gordita Bunch podcast.
That's right. There's a spot at our table for you. Just send us an email at cheesygorditabunchpod@gmail.com and reserve a spot on our podcast. We salute you, Bell Nation, and we can't wait to meet you.
Yeah, so final thoughts.
Oh, shit. My bad.
Final thoughts. The moment that you've all been waiting for, Bell Nation. You've listened to 30 minutes of this podcast. How do your host, the three gentlemen here at this table, is it beef? Let's start with you, Jordan. Knowing what you know now, do you think that Taco Bell beef is in fact beef?
Do you still think it's beef?
I can definitely say beforehand, before doing this episode, I would have definitely questioned it. I mean, I probably think about it every time I eat it, to be honest. But after doing this episode, there's no evidence that like Taco Bell just straight fucking lies about shit, and that's pretty dope. From what we can tell, like pretty consistently. So I'm gonna go. This is some good fucking beef. I'm gonna say this beef. Feed it to your newborn.
Feed it
they're
to
gonna be
your
healthier.
newborn.
Feed it to your newborn.
Be healthier. Yeah.
So I'm getting a beef rating. You're saying it's beef.
I'm gonna say it's definitely beef. And I think the other pieces that like the onion powder and like that other stuff, that makes sense. Why like if you take the entire beef as like as a whole, those make up a percentage of it. So it kind of makes sense. But yeah, I'm gonna give the beef a thumbs up here. I also think the other thing that has me optimistic though is that there are a ton of organizations, especially big ones, and there's a lot of big organizations that get it wrong, but there's a lot of really big organizations because there is so much regulation and there's so much accountability for those groups. They got to do shit right, or they're gonna get fucking blasted. Fucking Greenpeace will show up and fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And make like a big deal about it, right? Which rightfully so, if that's what they're doing. But my point is, I think there's a lot of groups getting it right, and I think TB's doing it.
So what I'm hearing from you is not only do you think that it's beef, you don't even think that shit's select. You're gonna put that shit up there with prime beef.
I'm bought in. I'll say it's prime. If TB.com says it's prime, I'm with it.
Taco Bell, you have got a soldier out there for you on the front lines. You know, if anybody deserves a follow from Taco Bell after that, Jordan Krenek at your boy.
Hey, my guy. That's love right there, Devin. That's your boy 112. Thank you.
Yeah, that's to you, Taco Bell.
YABOI 112.
So Nick, final thoughts. Is it beef?
So I do think that it's beef. I thought it was beef from the jump, just because I feel like the beef industry is really terrible, but it really pays to like big consumers like Yum Brand, you know what I mean? McDonald's, all that shit. So I totally thought it was beef. Did I think it was the best beef? Fuck no.
No.
Because even ground beef isn't the best beef. Like the ground beef you buy at the stores, like they ask you to cook it all the way through because there may be, diseases that can burn off, or you know what I mean, like other shit like that. So I think it was the best beef? No. But I did think it was beef. And one thing that we didn't talk about, which I thought was pretty interesting, is I watched a interview where a reporter goes up to people in the drive-thru at Taco Bell and says, "Well, if this wasn't beef, would you still eat it, or did that change your opinion?" And people were like, "I'd probably still eat it." You know what I mean? So I don't think that even if it was only 33% beef, because of the way it tastes and because of how cost efficient, I don't know, Taco Bell is, I totally think that it wouldn't have deterred anything. They may have lost some people,
Yeah.
but because of all the great vegetarian options Taco Bell has, they probably wouldn't have lost them.
Sure, I understand. Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I do think it's beef.
So I'm going to agree with you. I think it's beef as well. But I do have a little bit. There's a distinction for me that I'm pretty set on here. I think anything when it's 88% beef, when something is 88% something, and whatever 12% another thing, a special ingredient, it is okay to say that is beef because it mostly is. It mostly is beef. You might not advertise or talk about the other ingredients, but I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is, and I've talked about this on the show tonight, all beef. I would be offended if I saw something labeled as all beef and I bit into it and it wasn't at least 96% beef. It didn't have like at least 96% clearance rate of beef.
See,
I think that's the biggest difference for me is that one word, all. If it's all beef, it better be mostly beef. If it's just beef, I'm okay with a little bit of wiggle room. I can go 10, 12%.
I can respect that.
You know? Yeah.
See, I don't know. Whenever something is
Nick's
like
fuck that.
100% Angus, I don't think that is 100% Angus.
Right.
You know what I mean? I always feel like there's going to be some type of filler. There's
But
always going to be...
but 10 to 12%. Like, I mean, like, okay, I agree with you on that, but I'm talking like a very low percentage. Like, there's going to be seasoning, there's going to be other things
sure.
to give it flavor, but for the most part, when it comes to the base ingredients, the actual meat is
100% beef.
100% beef.
Well, yeah. So that's the thing, and that's the confusing part is because Taco Bell says it is 100% beef, but our meat is 88%.
Yes.
It's only our meat is 88% beef, and so that means they're using 100% beef, but their meat as the ingredients is only 12%, filler,
right,
or like other shit. So I do think that Taco Bell is using 100% meat, but the meat that when the final product isn't 100%.
It is not all beef. Yeah.
Right, and
yeah.
that's like what the distinction that has to be made.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like chili. You know what I mean?
Right. And quite frankly, the Taco Bell meat is kind of like chili.
That's what Glenn Bell set out to make, a chili. Whenever he made the ground beef. So it makes sense. But yeah, so we are all, the Cheesy Gordita bunch is in agreement that Taco Bell uses 100% beef based on the facts that Taco Bell has put out. And cool. I'm pretty happy with that.
There's a lot of
if you're a doubter, if you're a hater, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, there's a lot of different opinions that float around Bell Nation about a lot of different questions, but we can fucking put it to bed tonight that
myth busted.
Beef is beef at Taco Bell.
Myth busted.
Nice.
You're welcome.
Myth busted.
We did all the work for you. Now you don't have to do anything. Well, thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I'm your host, Nick Ortiz, and follow me on Instagram. I'm at CheesyGorditaNick. Follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/CheesyGorditaNick. And again, we will be starting our 5th edition D&D sesh on Twitch here soon, within the coming week. So if you can, just follow me, follow that, and I will keep you up to date.
Cool. And that's, by the way, that's cheesy with no E's.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
CHZY.
Already taken.
Yeah.
This is Devin signing off. Thanks for listening. As you know, leave a review. As we talked about multiple times on the show, let us know what you think the beef is. I want to know what you think the beef is.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Cool. And hey, thanks for listening. We love you. Hope you had enjoyed the show. And fucking listen with your friends or something. I don't fucking know. Have fun. Enjoy the shit. So thanks for listening, and we appreciate you. this is it's your boy signing off. So you got the IG earlier. I expect follows by the thousands. So holla.
This show is made possible thanks to listeners like you. For more great Cheesy Gordita Bunch content, follow us on social media. And if you'd like to support the show and hear exclusive bonus content, subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/Cheesy Gordita Bunch.